Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Oyster Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at the last card from Remix Bout that gets its own video. Tomorrow, we're going to bring you the last couple of cards. We're going to lump them together a little bit. But today, Golduck is the very last Pokemon in the set, which is deemed worthy of having its own video. It's not amazing, but I can see a use for it. So starting off then, it's got 110 HP, which I'm going to be honest, it's the same as Persimmon had that we looked at earlier, but Persimmons are basic, so I'm not really loving that so much. I do like the retreat cost of 1, that's quite nice. A skateboard will give free retreat, so yay. The weakness to grass is honestly fine. The good news is with 110 HP, you will survive a hit from Celebi and Venusaur's first attack, but weakness or not, you won't survive a hit from the second. So the weakness becomes essentially irrelevant here. But your typing is not irrelevant. Things like Welder are making things like Reshiram and Charizard amazing, so it's a great time to be hitting weakness on fire Pokemon. And you've got Naganadel and Quagsire that can move the energy up to your active. Well, Naganadel gets the energy out onto itself, and then Quagsire moves the energy either from Naganadel or elsewhere to your active Pokemon. Yeah, we've lost Brooklet Hill, and yeah, we're going to have lost Aqua Patch by the time this comes out. But having Quagnadel and hitting weakness on maybe the best Pokemon in the game at the moment really does make me go, you know what? Water decks, yes. I'm in. Water decks are cool. Okay then. So what does Golduck actually do? Well, the first attack, 1 colorless energy, 30 damage. Brilliant. I mean, look, maybe if you can find yourself a 60 HP Pokemon that's weak to water, this will get a KO. Even then, you're talking about a stage 1, so you better hope you went first, and then this is your attack on turn 2. The thing is, I looked at Victini the other day, and I said there's quite nice bench healing, but that's got 70 HP. I told you Emboar the other day was looking pretty good, but Tepig's got 80 HP. Arcanine's pretty good, but Growlithe's got more than 60 HP. Blacephalon and Volcanion are basics, but they've got 120 HP. Oh, great, you can 2-hit KO them. And I appreciate the fact that this is for 1 colorless energy, I do. But come on, at least it could do 40 and get a 1-hit KO on a Ditto Prism Star. But it doesn't. I'm just not loving it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's a particularly good attack. I'm not loving it. I'm a little bit sad. Sorry about that. But hey, maybe the second attack can save us. 1 water, 1 colorless energy, 80 damage. Return an energy card attached to this Pokemon to your hand. Okay, now this, ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit better. 80 damage for 2 energy is generally pretty gosh darn good. And now we're getting all of those Pokemon we were mentioning earlier. Your 70 HP basics like Poipole, they're going down. Jirachi sees a huge amount of play at the moment, that's going down. And then all those Pokemon that are weak that we talked about, like your Arcanine, your Blacephalon, your Volcanion, they're all going down. Now you're getting a KO on a whole bunch of Pokemon. But then we look at the GXs. And we look at something like Blacephalon, and Blacephalon's sitting there with 180 HP, and we're going, well, hang on a second, 80's not enough. Now, the good news is we have got Shrine of Punishment, but that's 10 damage between turns on EXs and GXs, so it needs to be 10 after your turn and then 10 after your opponent's turn in order to actually go and get a KO on that Blacephalon. 90 would be way better. And then you get to something like Reshiram and Charizard, and you're miles away. And here's the thing. We've got competition here. If you want to take out a Blacephalon, we got that Tapu Lele coming up, link in the description. I've done a video about it, check it out. That for a single colorless energy does 100 damage, with only 1 colorless energy if your opponent's got an Ultra Beast on the field, but if they do, 1-hit KO for a single energy. As a side note, there's been a bunch of people that I've seen making comments along the lines of Blacephalon's garbage after rotation because of Tapu Fini. No, let's be clear. Blacephalon's garbage after rotation if everyone's playing Tapu Fini. But how many people are going to be clearing a space in their deck for Tapu Fini unless Blacephalon's seeing play. So we're going to have a weird game of chicken going on. The more Blacephalon that sees play, the more Tapu Fini get teched in. But the more Tapu Fini get teched in, the fewer people are going to play Blacephalon. Okay. So then people aren't playing Blacephalon, so now Tapu Fini comes out of decks, and then Blacephalon comes back. It's going to be a weird game of chicken. We've also got the new Frostlass coming out that for 1 energy can get a 1-hit KO on a Reshiram and Charizard. You can put up to 7 damage counters on it, doing 20 damage for each damage counter you put on it. And then if you put all 7 on there, you're doing 140, double weakness 280, down goes Reshiram and Charizard. Now you're left with 10 HP remaining. The chances of you surviving are quite slim. But if you do survive, remember, and it was a Mamoswine that led to this ruling, woo! Even if you've only got 10 HP remaining, you can put 7 damage counters on, because you put the 7 damage counters on, then you do the attack, then you check for KOs, at which point you get KO'd. So to go back to Golduck then, when we got stuff like Frostlass and we got stuff like Tapu Fini, are we really going to want something like Golduck? Well, the thing is, Tapu Fini, as I showed, is basically good for Blacephalon, and that's it. Frostlass is best against Reshiram and Charizard, but can be a good attacker in its own right. But the problem with Frostlass is you are accepting the fact that you're going down. So you are just trading 1 for 1. And that's not ideal. Okay, fine, Frostlass can take out a Jirachi, but you're then down to, I think, 40 HP at that point. That's not good. Whereas Golduck here is sitting on 110 after the attack. And you're putting the energy back into your hand, which is great. One of the things this does is when it goes down, you lose a single energy. And that can be huge. That can be the difference between having enough energy next turn and not. Golduck's not here to smash and take huge KOs on every Pokemon out there. That's not what it does. It's here to take KOs on especially evolving Pokemon and little techs like Jirachi while conserving energy. So when you do go down, okay, you lose 1 energy, but you only lose the 1 energy. You don't lose anything else. So you've got that energy ready to attach the next turn, ready to get rolling. There are plenty of Pokemon on which you're getting KOs here. Pretty much all evolving Pokemon, even stage 1s. Poipole as an example. And then Blacephalon, and then Volcanion, and then Arcanine, and then Jirachi. And I could keep going, but you get the point here. Otherwise, you're just softening stuff up. One of the biggest questions here is, are we playing it over Articuno? Because Articuno does 70 damage, but then moves both the energy to the bench while being a basic. And on the one hand, Articuno's more of a pain because you lose both the energy to the bench, and then you have to reattach both of them. But then with Quagsire, you can move it to the active. But then you're relying on a stage 1. And it's 2 energy, so it's not really any faster than Golduck, even though it is a basic. But it's also got the ability that stops your opponent dragging Pokemon off the bench or doing other stuff. I can see a niche for this Golduck. I can see this Golduck seeing play in some water decks, taking out little Pokemon, and just going, right, I'm saving my energy. Because something like a Zapdos is going to have to use an Electropower to get a KO here, and then you're just losing the energy, and you can come and KO the Zapdos and go. The other thing that we do need to bear in mind is that if you're playing this Golduck, you can play the Team-Up Golduck. Now, the Team-Up Golduck cannot really be played, I think, unless you're playing a Golduck line anyway, because Swim is so hyper-specific. But 3 colourless energy and it does 90 damage, but if your opponent's got any water energy attached, and that will include stuff like Rainbow that provides all energy, you got to do 90 to the bench. And remember, we're moving into a format without stuff like Guzma, so we're not going to be able to gust, so hitting the bench is so much more important than it used to be. And now you can think, well, I kind of want to play the Golduck, the new one. Oh wait, but if I do, I can then justify playing a team-up Golduck. Now it's worth it. And that's sometimes a consideration you have to make. I'm kind of on the border of playing this. Oh, wait a second. Now I get to play the other Golduck as well. Yeah, now I'm in. I think this Golduck has a place. I don't think it's a phenomenal card. I'm giving it between 2 and 3 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I can see it seeing play. I can see it seeing success. But I do think it is a tech card, a niche card to help out some matchups. I don't think it's an amazing card to build a deck around. But I'd like to know what you think. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, because we're going to talk about a whole bunch of games. We started doing Chrono Clash recently. It's a lot of fun. They don't have Pokemon in, but they're fun anyway. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.